Our Danielle Savoni with our first look at the weather. Now, you look like you're ready to head out.
Yes.
Enjoy this beautiful weather today.
I matched the heat warnings on the map. You'll see in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll blend in like a floating head. Yes, so we have hot weather in place for many communities. In fact, some areas even have heat warnings. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I really hope you're enjoying the sunshine and the warmth. We lose this by the weekend and the rain will be back. So it's been a while since we've been in the heat and the brightness and getting some vitamin D. 25 degrees is the current temperature at the airport. Your 24-hour forecast is brought to you by Fifth Avenue Volkswagen, where you can win your ride. See dealers for details, or visit fifthAvVW.com. And not a whole lot to talk about. Yeah, we have a little bit of wind out there, times up to 40 kilometers per hour, and that will arrive again tomorrow afternoon, but mainly sunny, looking at a high of 28 tomorrow, maybe a few fog patches in the morning as well. Your full forecast coming up, Cam.
Let's talk about the heat, because I don't think it's going to stick around quite the way that it has been these past couple days.
You're right. So basically, we'll hold on to it from now until much of Friday. But late Friday, things will start to change. The weather pattern starts to shift. And that means by the weekend, temperatures will start to cool again, and we have some rainfall on the way. Likely that rainfall starting to kick in somewhat on Friday night, okay? So we'll talk about this in the whole longer range forecast, but first we'll focus just on current temperatures in and around the city. 25 at the airport, 26 downtown and at Windsport. Just outside of the city in Bragg Creek, 24, and heading off in the other direction over near Strathmore, 26. So a good amount of heat, not in really dangerously warm at this point, but in some communities we're looking at getting to that more excessive heat, and I'll show you that in the heat warning in just a second. Get your daily dose of greens at Serenity Golf Club, just 20 minutes east of the city. And here we go. We're in those high 20s in Medicine Hat, Lethbridge as well, mid-20s for Brooks and through Calgary. Banff at this point is in the higher 20s as well. So that even warmer air is starting to filter in. Warning criteria is different when you look at a heat warning. And again, here's how I blend in. We were talking about that earlier. Heat warning criteria is a bit different. So when you look at the far south, Pincher Creek over to Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, it's a bit of a different warning criteria. But for Calgary and all of these areas, we look at basically as long as it hits 29 degrees for 2 straight days and the overnight lows are at least 14, that's when it sparks up the heat warning. And that's why these areas are under that, because you don't even really get a lot of relief at night, even if you open the windows. Strathmore down to Vulcan, Champion over to Lowman, Brooks up through Hannah over to Empress. These areas under the heat warning the next couple of days will be in that heat warning criteria, and then things will break for the weekend. Here's that instability we talked about. We had it yesterday right along the mountains, a little more intense. Just earlier, about an hour ago, we had a severe thunderstorm warning in the Fernie area. That has since ended, but we basically have this really kicking up on the BC side, but we're so stable here with this ridge of high pressure that it's not really able to do anything in much of Alberta. But of course, closer to the border here, even through Pincher Creek, and definitely through Christmas Pass, there is that potential for late day thunderstorm activity really for the next hour or so, and then you see it quiets down. This is a look at 9:30 p.m. But then that risk comes back, a small risk anyway, for tomorrow. All right, when we look at tomorrow, all sunshine for all communities for the morning and most of the afternoon, and then later in the day, once again, closer to the supper hours, we'll get that development way off to the west along the mountains. You may even see a little bit of that. 30% chance of seeing any of that in Pincher Creek, Christmas Pass area. Friday's a nice day. The rain will creep in though by the supper hours and start to intensify in many areas in the overnight hours and at times through Saturday as well. Here's a look at that upper air analysis. There's that ridge of high pressure. This is why heat's been able to build, but it's not going to be able to build on the weekend because we lose this pattern. So just a look at your longer range forecast for Calgary. 28 for tomorrow. Later in the day, the winds will pick up to about 40 kilometers per hour. Lots of sunshine for Thursday and Friday. Friday night and through Saturday and Sunday, though, we're looking at on and off rain possible. Temperatures will cool throughout the weekend as well, as you can see here, and we're looking at picking out 5 to 10 millimeters on Saturday.
Danielle is back, and let's give them some more good news.
Let's do it. Let's talk about, it's important that we talk about and take time to enjoy the good stuff.
Absolutely.
Because the rain will be back. And we've had a lot of it, as you know. Almost record-breaking for July. 25 degrees is the current temperature. It feels a little hotter out there for sure because I think it's been so long. 28 degrees, so even warmer for tomorrow and for Friday. And then by Friday night, the conditions will deteriorate and we'll get rain Friday night in through Saturday, and it could be significant once again. For tomorrow, just wind in the afternoon at times.
All right, Danielle, thank you again.
Pretty gorgeous afternoon out there. Let's check in with Danielle. It seems like the perfect night to maybe do some outdoor grilling.
Oh, it's a perfect night to do anything outside, Tara. I mean, there are a lot of people that have been waiting quite a while for this type of weather. So we have the heat, we have the sunshine, we have a little bit of a breeze out here to kind of cool things down a little bit anyway. It's a wonderful day. 25 degrees is the current temperature. So as you can see by this, it's not excessive heat, but it's warm enough to be outside and enjoy it. It's really nice summer weather, to be honest. It'll be a little warmer for tomorrow, but not quite heat warning criteria, just below it for us here in Calgary. 28 degrees for our daytime high. The winds will pick up a little bit again later in the day tomorrow, and a whole lot of sunshine. Your full weekend forecast is coming up too, Tara.
Let's bring Danielle back in now as we look ahead to our 5-day forecast. Can we eke out this heat for all 5 days?
No. But I will say for another couple days, things will be in place like this up until about Friday night. And then things change, unfortunately, for the weekend. Okay, I blend in with the map, so I might as well step out of the way here. 25 degrees is the high so far in Calgary. Today we may get to 26 before it quiets or calms down and quiets down and cools down for the night. 28 degrees, so high 20s in through Edmonton, Drumheller, Brooks, and Medicine Hat. Check out way up north though. Fort McMurray, Peace River, Grand Prairie, Jasper, 31 right now. So that heat will trickle down. And we are looking at some communities under this heat warning, and the criteria for the heat warning in Alberta, anywhere north of Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, is 2 consecutive days at 29 degrees or higher for a daytime high and overnight low at least 14, meaning no real relief even at night with regards to even if you open the window, you don't get any relief from the heat. So areas in this heat warning, Strathmore down to Vulcan, Champion over to Lowman, Brooks, Hanna, Empress, and up, because the next 2 days will be even hotter and the overnight lows will be warm enough that if you don't have air conditioning in your house, it'll be a little toasty even at nighttime. Okay, so we've had this instability build in, so basically pushing in from BC, but we have high pressure in place and we're very stable. So when it reaches our side of the mountains, it really just dies out. Pincher Creek Christmas Pass for the next hour or so may see a little bit of activity, showers, maybe even a non-severe thunderstorm. But for the rest of southern Alberta, it's quiet, it's beautiful, it's sunny, it's dry. Okay, when we look at tonight, again, you can see the things quiet down even in the mountains, and then all sunshine for tomorrow. So it's a hot, dry day for tomorrow. And then later in the day, once again, in that same area, especially in the overnight hours, we have that little bit of instability building into potentially Pincher Creek, Christmas Pass, Waterton. Okay, but for the rest of the southern Alberta, it's just hot and dry right until Friday night. This is what builds in Friday night and will continue in through Saturday. So on and off rain, it will be heavy at times as well. So this weather pattern, this ridge of high pressure that's in place, will start to fall apart and move on out by Friday night. That means this, 28 degrees for tomorrow and for Friday as well. So a good amount of heat coming up here. A little bit of a breeze kicking in once again tomorrow afternoon. And then by Friday night, 3 to 7 millimeters of rain possible. And you can see cooler temperatures as we get into the weekend. Saturday rain, maybe even some embedded thunderstorms with 5 to 10 millimeters of rain possible. That's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast.
Beautiful stuff. Okay, fans of pop star Chappell Roan are eagerly awaiting the release of her latest single because it features a Canadian province.
I'm moving to Saskatchewan.
What? The Land of the Living Skies gets name dropped in her upcoming single Subway. A video teaser posted online shows her driving away in a truck featuring a Saskatchewan license plate. It's set to drop on Thursday, though fans are probably already familiar with it because she's been performing it live on tour and at festivals. So that's why people know that it's out there and that it's coming.
So yesterday we were talking about someone from Medicine Hat on the stage with
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry, and then we have Chappell Roan. I mean, come on, we're country head, we're world
all
headlines.
prairies all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Well, if you love roller coasters, this one's for you, but you really need to really love them. Oh my goodness. Thrill seekers looking for a 180 near vertical free fall will have to head to Gardaland, Italy. This is called Oblivion, the black hole, and it gives riders twists and turns with moments like this of weightlessness. The black hole is when you pass out from fear. I think that's what happens. Right when you're dangling at the top, and then things go dark because you just pass out.
I would pass out. That looks a bit terrifying.
Yeah, that might be a bit much. Yeah. Finally, a delivery driver who's got a little bit of difficulty getting in and out of his van. This is Henry, the Amazon driver. He's a little slow getting in and out, but he always makes sure your package arrives on time.
Yeah, he's a little slower than the regular Amazon delivery.
He's pretty cute, though. I think if that guy showed up at your house, even if he was delayed a couple of hours, it'd be okay.
Yeah, that's adorable.
That's
those little packages.
Probably full of cheese.
All right, well, your Skywatch weather camera showing, maybe a little bit of cloud cover. We have a little breeze. It's a beautiful day out there. Not too hot, not too cold. Pretty much where we should be. We're going to get a little warmer out there for tomorrow. In fact, all communities will be hot tomorrow and for Friday as well. 25 degrees current temperature and the daytime high. Normal is 24, where we should be. Now, just up to the east of Calgary, Strathmore down to Vulcan, Champion over to Lowman, Brooks, Hannah. These areas are under a heat warning because for the next 2 days, we're looking at daytime highs at least 29 and overnight lows at least 14. And so they meet the heat warning criteria. However, it will be hot everywhere. Let's talk about what we have with regards to activity. So closer to north of Banff, there is some active weather, but again, most of it is dying out as it reaches Alberta because it is so stable here. But closer to the mountains, we do have the risk of thunderstorm activity and even that more severe thunderstorm activity for the next hour or so. All right, this is your Action Furnace 24-hour forecast. Action Furnace, fixed right or it's free. Now, we had a little bit of a windy afternoon. We're looking at the winds picking up again tomorrow afternoon, even maybe some fog patches developing overnight and through early tomorrow morning. But basically, you're looking at a lot of sunshine and some heat building in. So into the 30s for Salmon Arm, Kamloops, Kelowna, even Edmonton and all the north in the 30s for tomorrow. High 20s, Olds and through Calgary, Drumheller, down through Lethbridge. Medicine Hat will likely crack that 30-degree mark for tomorrow. Again, a whole lot of sunshine, just a little unstable right up against the mountains.
The Big Bounce is an inflatable park that includes several giant bouncy castles, an obstacle course, and slides. It'll be at Spruce Meadows on August 9th, 10th, 15th, and 17th. Tickets are sold in sessions that cater to different age groups, including toddlers, juniors, bigger kids, and adults.
Tara, I think you are more excited or just as excited as my kids.
I keep sending you information for that. I think every kid on the planet would want to do that.
Yes, we're all going, that's for sure. And it depends on when you go. You may get some good weather. So let's talk about this forecast here because I really hope you get to enjoy the sunshine while we have it because we haven't had a ton of it over this past month. So we're wrapping up the month with sunshine, which is good news considering all the rain we had. It may get a little windy later in the day tomorrow and early in the morning tomorrow. There may be a couple fog patches, but overall, the bulk of the day, lots of sunshine, a high of 28. The rain kicks in Friday night, on and off rain Friday night in through Saturday and likely even through parts of Sunday. That will cool our temperatures down, and as you can see, a decent amount of rain coming once again. In total, Friday night through Sunday, we're looking at getting about 15+ millimeters of rain. Yes, I know. Okay, weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate. Ron Jeffrey sent this in. He says, a perfect day in Banff. And I would say there's probably a lot of people saying a perfect day out there today in all of southern Alberta because a lot of rain has been happening.
Thanks for your company tonight. Have a great evening. We'll see you again tomorrow.